Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked where I climb the online VGC 20 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. We're going to be playing one last episode with the Persian Terrakion Charizard team. This was of course built by a player called Adi. I've linked his YouTube channel in the description below. Please go check him out. He is such a smart player, and he's made some content around this team as well. You can watch him pilot it as well. So go check him out, and let's get started with today's episode. It's a rental team, and there's a paste in the description below as well, courtesy of Adi, so feel free to try out the team yourselves, and thanks as always for watching Road to Ranked. There's a Silvally here for the first game. That is very cool. Dracovish, Corviknight, Amoonguss, Marowak, and Primarina. It's definitely a pretty bulky team for the most part. Corviknight's pretty scary. I feel like Charizard's solid here, but with the Silvally, I have to worry about a potential explosion, especially next to the Marowak. That is definitely a possibility. Terrakion doesn't look very good here, so I'm thinking we want to go Persian, Charizard, Gastrodon, and Ferrothorn. I haven't brought out Clefairy very much, and I can't help but think that I should be bringing out a little bit more. But I kind of like Persian Charizard here, honestly, with Gastrodon. The reason I want Ferrothorn here is because it does wall Dracovish pretty hard. Corviknight doesn't do very much into it either. And it walls Primarina, but maybe it's actually not the right Pokemon to bring here. Because I already have the Gastrodon, which already gives, like, I mean, it matches up okay against Corviknight. Is my opponent really going to bring Primarina here? The more I think about it, the more I like Terrakion. Just for late game Rock Slides, especially into the Marowak. Because if I don't bring Terrakion, I think I'm actually really... I'm not super weak to Marowak, but a Dynamax Marowak still feels pretty scary here. So, yeah. Let's get into today's episode. As always, if you enjoy, please show support by leaving a like in the video. I'd really appreciate it. Question of the day, I want to know what Pokemon you think has the oddest design. Yesterday I asked about the best design. Today, curious about what you think is just really, really bizarre or weird. Let me know in the comments below. Okay, it's going to be Silvally and Primarina, which I guess isn't super ideal for us here. Yeah, it's not amazing. I mean, I can just Sunny Day, Wildfire turn 1. Because, like, you have to respect the Gastrodon switch in here. I'm just worried about a potential Scarf or Sash on Silvally. But I don't think Explosion would one-shot us, so yeah, I'm just going to Sunny Day and Wildfire. I think maxing Primarina here would be really risky when you know I've got Gastrodon in the back. They don't switch out, though, which is interesting. If they actually ended up just maxing and Geysering, I'm going to be sad. But we'll set up the Sun anyway with Sunny Day, so it's not... it shouldn't knock us out. And honestly, if we just get the Wildfire off and pick up a knockout and, you know, let the Primarina commit to maxing, that's not bad for us. Although it could have Energy Ball / Max Overgrowth. But yeah, it doesn't go for a Dynamax, which is expected. I think maxing there is just so risky when you risk Gastro just redirecting a Max Geyser away. So no Protects, no Switches, no Maxes. That's super interesting. I'm expecting Sash Silvally then. But it's not Sashed either. Wow. Okay. Well, that was a really good turn 1 then, I would say. Perhaps it's just a Moonblast coming out to knock out the Persian. I think that would make a lot of sense. Water Pledge. So it's a Pledge team, I guess? I'm guessing Silvally gets access to Grass Pledge or Fire Pledge? I actually want to double check that because I've never seen that before. Let's see. Silvally... It has to have one of the pledges there, right? But that's why pledges are not exactly super consistent. Yeah, I guess Grass Pledge. Interesting. That is really cool. Okay, Marowak comes out. Marowak comes out. I have Gastrodon in the back. I want to conserve Persian because I can just beat up Rock Slide in this late game. So I think just going for a parting shot here until a Marowak and Max Quaking is fine. Because then I can bring in Gastrodon, which redirects any water-type attacks away. Oh, okay. It's just a forfeit. I think their strategy was very clearly oriented around the pledges. So that's why I'm surprised not to see a Sash or a Scarf there on the Silvally. Because if you get the Grass Pledge off, assuming that's what my opponent was going to go for, then that's really good for my opponent. Because then you get that speed control up. So, yeah. Okay. Well, I gotta say, I didn't know Silvally got access to Grass Pledge, so now I know that's a possible combination. And if you ever see Silvally plus Primarina, you should think about the pledges potentially. So, yeah. Because if you combine Grass Pledge with Water Pledge, and you get the Grass Pledge off first, I think the way it works is that then the effect goes off, right? Which means my speed is quartered, and having that speed control is really good for my opponent because I win that game just by outspeeding everything. Okay, another Dracozolt. I played really poorly against Dracozolt. I think, was it yesterday's episode or the episode before that, where I got baited into Maxi in front of it, so we're not going to want to do that today. That was yesterday's episode, right? I had Max Flare, too. Have to respect PZ Clef, Talonflame, PZ, Talonflame Zolt, Talonflame Urshifu. Like, there's so many potential lead combinations for my opponent here. I could just go Fake Out with the the Persian, because I'm faster. Like, I still want to go Persian Charizard, maybe Clef. I think Clef is actually really valuable. But if I go Persian Charizard and they go with PZ Clef, that's not that good, right? It's not ideal. Clef PZ, Clef PZ, Clef PZ. Why do I want to lead against that? Clef PZ is honestly the lead I'm struggling with here. I think it feels like Pharaoh needs to come out. Could go Persian Terrakion. No, that was. I don't think. I'm actually gonna go Charizard, Clefairy, Gastrodon. I feel like it's such a mistake to not bring Ferrothorn into this matchup, but I don't know. Like, there's a Talonflame and an Urshifu, and without Protect. No, I guess I can't Protect in front of Urshifu anyway. Yeah. I think that last match, though, the thing about Charizard is if you get a Wildfire off and you have the Sun up, and you get a free knockout like that, it's very difficult to come back from something like that. Okay, it's Talonflame and Urshifu. It's not bad, actually. It's not bad at all. This is honestly pretty ideal, I would say. The only thing is, once again, like, maybe I don't max here. Because I think we actually maybe want to max the Gastrodon. I'm surprised PZ is not here as a lead, though. But part of me wants to just Wildfire, get rid of the Urshifu turn 1. I think I probably want to Protect with Clefairy here. I just think maxing is such a mistake, because I think Gastrodon's the right Pokemon to max. So I think I'm actually just going to Heat Wave here and Protect. Yeah. My opponent could go for the Wicked Blow and Brave. I'm expecting Taunt onto Clefairy, maybe even a Switch Out from Urshifu. But they don't Switch Out. This might not have been a great play if they actually doubled up on a Charizard and it just KOs us. But they Tailwind, that's what we want to see. Okay, actually, I guess you have to Tailwind, otherwise Charizard outspeeds you. There's Wicked Blow. So I could have gone for Helping Hand instead. Which might have been a better play. Okay, we get Heat Wave off. I think the play here is just to Heat Wave and follow me, right? I mean, Helping Hand would have done more, but you're probably sashed on the Urshifu anyway. It would have been a better play, but it covered for the taunt option on Talonflame, so I don't really regret that a lot. Because once again, well, I don't know. The question is, do you have PZ in the back? I mean, even if you do, I can bring out Terrakion. So, Follow Me is relatively safe here. Neither of these Pokemon should have spread attacks. So if we pick up the knockout onto Urshifu, get more chip onto Talonflame, then it's the classic scenario where you have Talonflame out and you're not doing very much with it. You can Brave Bird with Flare Blitz, but it's not really super strong. And Gale Wings is broken, although that's actually not super relevant in this matchup. And this is also why I didn't want to bring Ferrothorn, although if I had Ferrothorn in the back and knocked out both of these, I'd maybe be in a better spot. Urshifu protects, which indicates to me Talonflame is going to go for a taunt here, so let's see. Actually just Brave Birds. Okay. I'm fine with that. How did it do that much? Was that a crit? No, it wasn't. It's probably Sharp Beak then, right? That was a lot of damage. Wow. Okay, that's a problem, because now you can just Brave Bird into Clefairy for a KO, and then Wicked Blow into Charizard for a KO. Huh, you can get cheeky and bring in Terrakion. Maybe I'll just Protect Clefairy, though. It's just a big question of what I think is going to be in the back. But I think we max... Question is also, do you have Energy Ball in the Primarina? I think we Protect Clefairy here and just Heat Wave. Yeah, get a free switch in into like Gastrodon, and then maybe just max Gastrodon. Actually, I think that's our only course of action here. I didn't think Brave Bird would be a 2-hit KO onto Clef. That's kind of surprising. There's Wicked Blow. Should be into Charizard, yep. I could have switched that out into Terrakion, but I don't know if that really felt super good. I don't know. Like, maybe we could have gone for the Wildfire play in this game. Okay. Here's what I think we do. How many turns of max are left back? There's only one turn of max. That's really interesting. Terrakion does outspeed everything in the back. I'm leaning towards switching Clefairy out right now into Terrakion. KOing the Talonflame. We want to max here. Yeah, because then this allows Terrakion to outspeed in the subsequent turns. The only problem with this is the Primarina in the back has Energy Ball as well. It could definitely be Assault Vest with Energy Ball, so I think maybe maxing the Primarina was a little premature in this match. How else should I have approached this, though? Having Ferrothorn in the back, maybe? If we had Ferro in the back, I could knock out Talonflame. I don't know. And I'm going for the knockout here onto Talonflame because this means Terrakion outspeeds my opponent's entire team next turn. So even though Wicked Blow crit's gonna hurt, like, I could potentially heal back with Life Dew in this late game. There's Brave Bird. I am gonna take a fair amount of damage on a Terrakion, that's without a doubt. How is it doing that much? It's gotta be, like, Sharp Beak, right? I just can't think of any other way you're doing, like, so much damage. That's my only guess. So, if my opponent doesn't have Energy Ball Primarina, I think this is pretty doable. Because we can just boost up with Gastro with Max Quake twice, and then go from there. I also think maybe we could have just knocked out the Urshifu there, because Talonflame's going to Fame for him one more turn, but I just really didn't want another Tailwind going up in this game, because now at least Terrakion outspeeds my opponent's team. And I feel like you have to bring Dracozolt to deal with the Charizard here, and like Gastrodon, hopefully, although I guess they don't have great Primarina answers, do they? PZ could come out here, I think that's definitely a possibility. But I think that's got to be Sharp Beak on the Talonflame. Those Brave Birds are doing a lot more than I expected. Like, I didn't think it would two-shot Clef, honestly, nor did I think it would do that much to Terrakion. Maybe I'm just underestimating Talonflame's attack, but Dracozolt comes out. That's interesting. Okay. Dracozolt. I have Citrus. Honestly, I kind of want to just Max Quake and Close Combat into Dracozolt. I can see my opponent maxing Dracozolt as you protect Urshifu here. So if I call that correctly and just pick up the knockout onto that, that's huge. And with the Citrus, I'm pretty sure even if you Wicked Blow and Wormwind into Gastrodon, we should survive. Close Combat should do around like 30-ish%. I would think if you're not AV, the double up actually KOs. So the only way my opponent gets around this is if they actually have Protect on Dracozolt and go for that, but I feel like that's really risky because then my Terrakion in this position, like the safe play for me to make here, or the obvious play I should say, is just Close Combat or Urshifu Max Quake into Dracozolt. So the Dracozolt in the back is exactly why I played the way I did. No max on either, actually. What? Wow. They missed the Dragon Claw, too, onto Terrakion. But they Close Combated that slot, okay. Wait, that was so risky. I feel like if I just went for Close Combat Max Quake, don't you just get double KO'd and you lose the game? But I guess this actually ends up working out for them. Maybe they read into me making this specific play, and if so, job well done. Okay. Wow, I thought definitely would be a Max or Protect there, because, yeah. Really surprised to see neither come out there. Okay, we have one more turn of Max here. Based off how my opponent played that, you would think the last one is Primarina. With Energy Ball. But this PZ, oh man. Yeah, if I actually just Close Combated Urshifu, I don't regret my play there because I think a lot of players would protect the Urshifu and max Dracozolt. But, well done. That was unexpected. I get Max Quake here. It's not that much of a point in... Like, I honestly want a Life Dew. Because I could see my opponent striking Gastrodon and Wicked Blowing into Clefairy. This gives me another special defense boost. We'd be at +2 Spadef with Friend Guard. Life 2 could come up huge for us right now. That was just a surprising turn last turn. Unless it was AV. I guess maybe it was AV Zolt. Which would explain the lack of a max. But that's why I was surprised. I guess my opponent felt forced to bring out the Dracozolt first. Because if you bring in PZ, then it might just eat up a close combat. So, yeah. But I'm slightly kicking myself because I could have just went for the super safe play of close combat max quick. That being said, I feel like very rarely is that ever going to work out. So I don't regret making the play that I did in that position specifically. Okay, PZ's faster. That's interesting. Gastro takes that. Nice. Take that very nicely, actually. Alright, this will be a close finish for sure. But the Gastrodon win condition was what I was playing towards this entire time. So if you don't knock out Clefairy with Wicked Blow here, I pick up the knockout onto Urshifu and heal back. Oh, he actually Wicked Blows the Gastrodon. Okay. Oh, that's a lot of damage, though, but... Let's see. We get the Life Dew off, which is huge. I totally forgot about that. The Life Dew actually activates Storm Drain. I wonder if Geyser would have KO'd the PZ here, then. Right, we don't heal ourselves. We only get the special attack boost. Okay. But I think it's fine, right? Because now what I can do is just double protect. Double protect into Follow Me Recover. Yeah, I think that's super safe. Like, this is why I learned from the other day, right? Because the other day I maxed Charizard so early and I got beat. Unless you one-shot us through Protect here. But we have Friend Guard, so I wouldn't think so. What if I just went Follow Me Recover? Do you even one-shot Clefairy at +1 Spadef? You do have a lot of special defense investment. Yeah, I'm leaning towards double protect into recover. But maybe Follow Me Recover would have been a better play here. I would think Gastrodon with the 2 Spadef boosts and the Friend Guard is definitely surviving this through Protect, but maybe I'm underestimating this output. Okay, there's another strike. Goes out in a Clefairy, actually. Okay, 118 down to 88. So that did 30, which means it would have done 120, so it would have been enough for a KO. Yeah. Okay, I think that's fine. Because I think we win the late game now with the Gastrodon. Because I can just Follow Me and recover now. And we have 2 special defense boosts. So if you Hyper Beam, we'll survive, and then we'll just be able to stall you out. Yep, there's the 3rd max strike. It's a really close game, though. I also forgot about the Life Dew interaction there with the Gastrodon, which is pretty funny. You don't see that very often. Okay. So we heal all the way back up, which is very nice. PZ's max is over. I think Rain is about to end, too, unfortunately. If not, then we can just Scald here with the special attack boost for a KO. But, yeah, unfortunately, it just ends here. So I think our play here... Does PZ get any boosting attacks? I guess if it did, we'd lose anyway, right? Like, I want to protect a Scout out, because then it informs my decision on whether I... Yeah, I think Recover is actually always the better play here, regardless. Because I don't think Scald one-shots in this range. And if you rely on Hyper Beam and we Recover, then we just win off this. Although Scald actually... I don't know if +1 Scald KOs. I don't think it does, actually. But with the 2 special defense boosts, I think we're good. They just commit Hyper Beam. We should survive this, I would think. Let's see. Okay, Gastrodon. Whoa. Scald would have just won me the game there, but I wanted to cover... Like, if he has Tri-Attack, I think Tri-Attack probably 2-shots us. So it's actually better to just click Recover here again. Because then we're at full HP, and now there's no way PZ knocks us out after the recharge. Yeah. So now I can click Scald this turn. But I wanted to Recover because if you have Tri-Attack and I click Scald there, you Tri-Attack twice, you knock us out. Probably. So I didn't want to risk that. Now the only downside is this does open ourselves up to a crit. I also wonder if Earth Power just KOs with the special attack boost. I'm just going to go for that. They're going for flinches, which I think is the correct play here. Do you flinch us? Oh god. I think we should definitely survive a Hyper Beam from this range, but I mean, props to them. That's the correct play. Yeah, they go for another Dark Pulse. Please, 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 Gastrodon. Come on. Earth Power should KO now. Okay, nice. With the special attack boost. Woof! Let's go. That was a really good game. Yeah. That was super intense. I think good decision to not Dynamax the Dracozolt. And I really thought the Urshifu would consider protecting that position to get some mileage off, because I didn't think my opponent would risk a double KO. But once again, I think it's actually likely the Dracozolt had a Salt Vest, which is why my opponent made that play, because then Max Quake probably doesn't KO you. But yeah, that was just... That's why like you can't get too greedy Dynamaxing early on, because I made that mistake yesterday, and I got punished really heavily for it. So glad we at least learned a thing or two. And that's really important in VGC 2020, right? Like, you might feel good to Dynamax early on, but the thing is, if you get 3... It's so important to get 3 turns of max off with a really offensive Pokemon, or just with the team in general, especially with an offensive team like this. Now, the thing is, with Charizard, Colossal, and all these Pokemon with residual effects, actually, sometimes it's worth it just to get the residual effect off if the Pokemon in the back can deal with what you think your opponent's going to Dynamax. But that wasn't really the case yesterday, where I just kind of got wrecked by late-game Dracozolt. Alright, another Diggersby. We have the run back against all the Pokemon we went up against yesterday. Diggersby, Talonflame. Okay. There's a Ferrothorn, which means I pretty much have to bring both Terrakion and Charizard, otherwise I really can't deal with it. It makes me think I have to play towards the late game Charizard win con. Leading Terrakion and Charizard, both are kind of risky though, because you could just Tailwind Rock Slide or Tailwind EQ, so that doesn't feel great. I feel like Diggersby is just super rough. I have Pharaoh, second max Overgrowth. That could actually be really interesting, because yes, like I could bait my opponent into maxing the Diggersby, come out with the Ferrothorn, and then Overgrowth. Could even lead the Ferrothorn here, honestly. Like, I'm leaning towards Clefairy, Charizard, Terrakion. I don't think Persian's super good here. Well, actually, the thing Persian allows me to do is fake out the Talonflame. But then, I did the calc yesterday, and, yeah, I mean, if you lead Talonflame Diggersby, you can just Max Quick into Charizard anyway, right? Ugh. You go Persian Terrakion? Fake out Close Combat. I don't know, I'm going to honestly try out Ferrothorn Clefairy. This might not be right, but I think we need to experiment a little bit. The idea behind this is to just put on pressure against Diggersby with a Max Overgrowth on turn 1. I can even Helping Hand Max Overgrowth. Because if I get you to Dynamax the Diggersby and I pick up the knockout onto that, this becomes a lot more doable. That's Talonflame and Urshifu, though. Yeah, that's not great. Like, the other lead I wanted to go with was Persian Charizard, in which I could have just gone Fake Out Airstream, but I didn't want to lead Persian Charizard into Talonflame Diggersby, because even though I can Fake Out the Talonflame and either Airstream or Wildfire, Diggersby can just go for a knockout onto the Charizard, which would be pretty bad. So, it's not super ideal, but I guess it's not awful either. I mean... could Follow Me, Steel Spike... Don't hit Talonflame for very much damage. I do think we want to Steel Spike turn 1. Question is whether we protect here or Follow Me. I went for Follow Me because I think you're going to Surging Strikes with the Urshifu anyway. So the Protect doesn't help us protect against that. But, not the lead I wanted to see. I was hoping my opponent would play more around the Diggersby, and not seeing it come out as a lead here is not great for us, I think. Okay. Especially because it's probably gonna be Sash, so I can't one-shot either Pokemon in this position, which is the main problem here. Oh, they Detect. Interesting. I wonder if that's Detect Taunt then. Because that would have been a reason to Protect. Because now you can just double up onto the Pharaoh this next turn. Is it Taunt? Yeah. If I actually protected with Clefairy there, we would not be in bad shape going into turn 2. Because now you can just go for a fire type attack in a close combat, although I think we would survive, especially with the defense boost and the AV and the friend guard. Like, do I switch the Clef out here? I feel like we might honestly have to stay in. Definitely going for Overgrowth here. I honestly think I need to stay in here just for friend guard. Because if you double up on a Ferrothorn and I lose Ferrothorn, we just insta-lose the game. So, I'll take the little bit of damage. Because I think we have to. But that would have been a reason to protect. Like, I just didn't want to protect because I didn't think my opponent needed to protect Urshifu. I thought it'd be fine to just taunt and Surging Strikes in that position. They switch Urshifu out. Maybe into Ferrothorn. This is just brutal. I don't even know if they brought Diggersby out then. Like, my opponent's 3 Pokemon right now. Oh. Huh. That just made the match a lot more interesting, because while Max Talonflame is scary, it's actually not that good. Although, I mean, obviously, my opponent maxed to go for a Max Flare here. But it means you set up the Sun for my own Charizard. And we outspeed the Urshifu in the back. So there's Max Flare. I'm pretty sure we should survive with Friend Guard in the boost. That is, yeah, survive that easily. What an interesting match. I struggle, which actually does break the Gale Wings, hilariously enough. Excuse me. It's just that we're so hard-walled here. Like, I felt pressured to lead this just to beat Diggersby. But maybe I should have just gone Persian and Charizard in the end. That might have been fine. Okay. This is still definitely doable. I think we survive another Flare here anyway. So I kind of want to max Darkness. I could double switch here as well. I don't want anything in the back to take damage, though. I think I'm going to switch Clefairy out into a Charizard. Yeah, I mean, it's not like getting another attack off with the Ferrothorn's even that important here, right? So it's like, if I get the Charizard in for free, bringing Clefairy back out, that's actually pretty solid as well. It's actually a better play for my opponent to target Clefairy in this position, in my opinion. There's Flare. But they target Pharaoh. That probably one-shots us now. Yeah. Okay. But, like I said, I don't think there's much point in staying in, to be honest. And now I get a free switch in. Iron Defense? Oh, knock off. Okay, that's not great. Yeah, we take so much damage from that, actually. Oh, could you imagine if I brought in Terrakion? Could have gotten a Justified boost. But I didn't want to risk a Steel-type attack going into that slot. Okay, I think Terrakion is our win con in this match now. I could have brought out Clef and just follow me Heat Wave, but then I think the Protect Airstream is super obvious. I mean, you would Airstream Charizard in this position, right? Huh. I wonder if I can bait my opponent then into switching out into Clefairy and then surviving Airstream and Heat Wave. I just don't know if we survive Airstream, but it's not Life Orb, so maybe. Because if we knock out Ferrothorn, then maybe Terrakion Clef can win us this game. But this was just a tough game because I didn't get anything out of my Dynamax, and that's because I played super hard to counter Diggersby alone, which I thought counterbust really hard. There's Airstream. Oh, that knocks us out anyway. Okay. Yeah. Is this winnable now? I think there's still a chance. It's Iron Defense. Yeah, it had Gyro Ball too. This was like the worst Ferrothorn set to go up against because it actually has a lot of offense against us too. So, I do think Terrakion maybe could pull this off. Because we have chipped the Urshifu in the back, right? Oh, but my opponent just clicks Tailwind now, I think. I want to protect Rock Slide here. But maybe we don't actually KO the Talonflame. I'm gonna go for Protect Swords Dance, because I think we need to KO the Ferrothorn. So I'm hoping here Talonflame tries to commit a taunt, although Tailwind's the safer play. Yeah, they go for Tailwind. But that's still okay. It's just I could have gone for like a Life Dew in this position. Maybe the better play was helping hand CC into Ferrothorn. You have Power Whip here, you should go for it. Yeah. Unfortunately, this, like, you can see now the Ferrothorn, the standard Ferrothorn has changed a lot. So, before, you know, Iron Press, or Iron Defense, Body Press, Leech Seed, Protect was super common, and now, you know, these offensive Ferrothorns, this one, like, we're using Gyro Ball, Body Press, sorry, not Body Press, Heavy Slam, Gyro Ball, yeah. Man, I just can't believe Diggersby didn't even come out here. The Dynamax Talonflame was really clever as well. So if you look at what my opponent brought, what would have been good against this? I don't think maxing Gastro would have been the answer, so I think we needed a max Charizard. But I didn't feel super safe leading Charizard, but I guess Charizard Clef could have worked out alright for us here, or even just Persian Charizard, but I don't know. I think Talonflame Diggersby is a really rough matchup into that, especially if you do have Rockfall. So this was like a classic me trying to play very heavily around one Pokemon that I think is a really big threat to us, and unfortunately that Pokemon not coming out, so my opponent kind of one-upping us in terms of team preview. So well done to them. Because I do think if we led Persian and Charizard into what my opponent led, I actually could have just gone Fake Out Airstream onto Talonflame turn 1, which puts us in a pretty good spot going into turn 2. So yeah. But definitely an interesting set of games. I think that second one was really intense, and the first and third one kind of one-sided towards one or the other. But yeah. So that's going to be it for this team. Thank you so much for watching. I'm glad I at least got to feature the cool Life Dew interaction with the Clefairy and the Gastrodon. That's always fun. So appreciate everyone for coming out and tuning out. Thanks as always for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you all next time. All right. Peace.